Clove oil is very good for dentistry because it numbs your gums.
And actually, when you do look at mulled wine recipes, I can't talk like that.
We would normally, don't point out
goodness.
all the holes in my jumper. It's one of my
gosh.
favourites. Look at this. Look at
Oh
that.
my gosh!
I've got a secret idea, which is a little bit of chili.
No.
sure?
Don't put that in. Do not
Just
put the
for-
chili in.
just for a bit of a kick?
No.
In it goes.
No, just don't put it all in, Luke. Do not.
It's definitely all going in.
No.
Look at that.
That is going to be absolutely
delicious.
vile.
And look at that QR code. It takes you to mapperton.com. Oh. I think that's so smart. It just
Do you think
shows
anybody is really
we
going to do
are-
that?
We are keeping up with the times.
Do you think anybody's really going to do that?
Next year, I think I'm going to have the QR code on the front and a little
Do
photo
you think
on the back.
anybody's going to do
Because
that?
it'll be all about the digital experience.
Do you think
so.
anybody's going to do that?
Welcome to Mapperton, our family home and estate in Dorset in the southwest of England.
Julie and I took over running Mapperton a few years ago from my parents, the Earl and Countess of Sandwich.
It's a lot of work, but also a lot of fun. This place is full of fascinating stories, extraordinary people, and endless repairs.
So please join our family on this journey of a lifetime as we put all our efforts into preserving this magnificent part of England's heritage.
Hi everybody, I am going to be making a very traditional recipe for, well, a British recipe. It's served everywhere. When I first moved to this country, I honestly did not know what mulled wine was. I don't think maybe we do have it in the States, but I certainly don't remember it. So if you have mulled wine where you are and you're not in the UK, let me know. Because I always think of it as, well, obviously it's European, I do know that, but I mean, I always think of it as a European/British recipe. So you're supposed to use just kind of like not very good red wine. So, so the ingredients are, it's sort of a hodgepodge of ingredients, like not very good red wine.
I'm
and
here.
Okay.
I've come to join the recipe. So what's going on here?
So I'm making mulled wine for Christmas. Because we'll go through, even though Luke doesn't drink, and really I don't drink wine either, but we have guests coming, and we will have to do mulled wine.
Is after church on Christmas Day, though this year we're having the service on the Sunday because the Sunday is Boxing Day, we would normally have people coming into the house for mulled wine. And we would normally, don't point out all the holes in my jumper.
Those,
Do you know what?
Those moths are.
We have
Oh
bad
my
moth.
goodness!
We have really
this
bad
is
moth.
such a nice
I know. It's
Oh
one of my
gosh.
favourites. Look at this. Look at
Oh
that.
my gosh!
I know.
This is like, I'm sure I got you this jumper.
You did. That's probably about sort of 3 years ago, and look at it now. Yeah. Whatever
That's
we
a
do, we
real-
put,
well,
we
now I
put
know what
those
I'm-
little cedar balls. Right, they don't work. The little strips, they don't work.
Well, now I know what I can get you for Christmas.
Let's go back to mulled wine.
Yeah, mulled
Because
wine.
the good news is,
I'm gonna pour this in.
I've got a great new recipe for mulled wine. So
we don't need a great new recipe. This is the perfect recipe. Honey, orange,
we've been
cinnamon,
trying
cardamom, cloves.
We've been trying to incorporate recipes from the journals and to find older, interesting recipes for different things. And I think that our viewers are more interested in a 14th century recipe from the time of Richard II. There is an ancient cookbook called The Form of Curry, which it was made or written or inscribed in 1390 in the time of Richard II. And it's the oldest English cookbook. And amazingly, it has a recipe for mulled wine. And you know how you're really interested in older things rather than new things. This was a recipe that kind of brought together all the spices that they had at that time, combined it with wine and a bit of sugar.
Okay,
and
we've got honey. We have sugar there.
But it's got a couple of ingredients that I don't think you've got here. So let's see what we've got.
Can I put the wine in though?
Well, let's look at the ingredients before we do that. We've got cloves. Yes, cloves are in the original recipe.
Can I put the wine in?
Cardamom is in the original recipe as well.
Great.
What else we got? cinnamon, yep, that one is good too. And star anise, excellent.
Okay.
And then we've got honey,
but we've
which
got
is for
sugar.
the sugar. Yeah, but no, but they wouldn't have had sugar, so they
Right,
would have.
okay, yeah,
they would have had honey, which they would have added to the wine to make mead anyway.
And an orange. You're just going to put some.
They didn't have oranges in England because there was no
right,
way to
yeah,
get them
that's
to
right,
the
the
UK
Victorian
in time.
time.
But we will adapt this recipe slightly for the modern taste bud, and we will put an orange in.
Okay.
And then the question is what wine they would have had. Well, the Romans brought wine to Britain, so there was a lot of wine being drunk. And this is a Pinot Noir, and this one is French.
So is this
And
one?
this is a Pinot Noir
Romania,
from
sorry.
Romania. And the point about mulled wine is you can throw in all of
So
your
can I
old
throw it
bottles.
in now?
Well, you do one and I'll do the other.
Okay.
How about that? Okay, let's see. And well, it's the same grape, so I'm sure they're happy together. Sometimes we would put a bit of juice in, and I'm going to suggest that we put a bit of Mapperton apple juice in, or maple juice as well.
Okay.
Because a little bit of fruit juice adds to the sort of body of the whole thing.
Does anybody? Okay, fine. I mean, listen, it's your
Yeah.
recipe.
Yeah. So I'm
So,
gonna go. I'll
okay,
go get
so-
that over here. We're gonna do something slightly differently, which is to get out the pestle and mortar,
Okay.
if I can ever find it. So what we're going to do with this little mini pestle and mortar is we're going to throw some of these things in together.
Okay. So I'm going to put a little bit of the apple juice in.
You put
yeah?
a little bit of the apple juice in. We've got
I
a
guess.
bit
I
of,
mean, I
bit
would
of
have never
cardamom.
done this.
We've got a
Has
bit of
anybody
cinnamon.
heard of putting apple juice in mulled wine? I
Oh
literally
dear,
barely put
I've
any
slightly
in.
overdone it on the cloves. We're going to
That's a
grind
lot
it.
of spice.
We're going to grind it when I know it might be
Okay.
too much.
No, I wouldn't grind this. I would let these
because
float.
we want it all infused together. We're trying to do the original recipe here. You see, we're not cutting corners.
Okay.
So if you put some leaves in, and I'm going to
Okay.
grind
Here,
all of
watch out
this.
for my fingers.
Yeah, that wouldn't taste good.
Here we go.
And then we keep going like that. We kind of need almost an electric thing to do this, but
Here, wait.
I
Well,
think
but
that's
they didn't
working
have
a
an
bit.
electric thing back then,
that's
did
true.
they?
They didn't have an electric thing.
So
back then. Now there's
can't.
one other thing
Love
that
it
we
when
need.
he wants to use sort of new world stuff.
I
it's
think
fine.
I've got a secret idea, which is a little bit of chili.
No. Don't
sure?
don't put that in. Do not
Just
put the chili in.
Just for a bit of
no,
a kick.
No.
I think these little bits of chili, they're not going to. It's not going to affect the whole thing, but occasionally somebody's going to get that tiny little nugget.
Yeah, and then
on the
they're
back
never
of their
going to come
tongue.
back for Christmas here ever again.
And they're going to go, wow, this is looking pretty good actually.
It's way too much.
My worry is the cloves, because clove oil is very good for dentistry because it numbs your gums. Oh my goodness.
You smell.
No, this is actually,
Yeah,
do-
okay, I agree.
well, you can be a little bit more excited than that, don't you think? Can you admit that is the smell of Christmas? We've captured Christmas,
Yeah, we have.
don't you think? Ta-da! In it goes.
No, just don't put it all in, Luke. Do not.
It's definitely all going in.
No,
Look at that.
that is going to be absolutely
Delicious.
vile.
Delicious, delicious, delicious.
Weird
12 glasses,
ingredients.
12 people.
Who will never come back.
Yeah, but Stephen and Claire might
Never film with us again.
might come. Look at
And
this.
also, you're not supposed to put it on a boil, so you need to put it on that
well,
one.
the thing I've learned about this agar is that these are exactly the same temperature when you first open them up.
Okay.
So that goes on there.
All right, and we
and
need
then-
to leave it for at least 15
And
minutes.
then it needs 15 minutes of simmering.
So let's just leave it for 15 minutes.
And then you have a choice
Uh-huh.
of either drinking your mulled wine after 15 minutes, or you can leave it for up to 24 hours.
Well,
you
we'll
know
have
that?
to try
Which-
it after
what-
15
what should we
minutes.
do? We
so
could
let's
leave it
just
pretty
leave it
much.
for 15 minutes and we'll come back.
We'll come back.
Please help support this important part of England's heritage by becoming a patron at patreon.com/Mapperton Live.
I mean, it has been on definitely for longer than 15 minutes.
About 16 minutes. And let's try a little bit of it and see what it's like.
Okay.
So in order to do that, we need a glass, which I'll get out of the cupboard over here.
It's quite dusty.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, Luke, there's a spider in here. Oh my God, there's a dead. I don't want this glass
let's
anymore.
just put the spider in the mulled
I don't-
wine.
What?
Mulled
There's
spidery
my
wine.
name. Julie.
I think it would be fine. What kind of spider
I don't
is
want
it?
that.
Should we
Okay.
get
Oh my
nest-
God.
Nesta-like
It goes
spiders?
to show you, I obviously don't drink
It's actually quite dirty.
cosmopolitans or
Do you know,
martinis.
this poor spider, he managed to make his way all the way into the glass, but he couldn't get out. And that was the end of
No,
him.
he probably thought that there was like some martini or I don't know. I actually don't want to drink out of there now. Because I know you're not going to wash it properly.
I cleaned it. I have washed it properly. I've only left a couple of legs.
I really, you know, I've never used that glass, I don't think.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Now, that isn't a spider's leg, that's a piece of rosemary.
Uh-huh, okay. Okay, here we go.
Okay, tell me what you think.
No.
What?
No. It's not, no.
What do you mean no?
Okay, I mean no.
Okay, let me try it.
I'm really sorry, Stephen and Claire. We were going to give this to Stephen and Claire.
My God.
I told you.
It needs so much more sugar.
So much more sugar.
That's because I gave you the honey and you put in like a measly tiny bit. I'm going to get the more honey.
Okay.
Okay.
I think
it needs like half the
What about
pot.
just regular sugar?
I think it needs just half the pot. Well, no, because honey is more medieval, isn't it? And we're trying to...
When I say it's awful, I mean it because it needs to be...
I tell you what's good, though. The spices taste good, but it's just not sweet enough for mulled wine.
Oh, my God.
So we're going to put it in a huge...
I don't even taste the spice because there's no sugar in it.
And it needs longer.
There's no measurements here. Do you notice this? There's literally
needs longer.
No measurements.
Well, measuring, what's that?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Actually, I would say that is a...
I can definitely taste the chili.
Can you? The key question is your mouth going numb? Have a go, see whether your mouth is going numb. Right, there we go.
No, it doesn't go numb because when I first put it in, it's just so bad.
You can't even tell if it's going numb.
I can't even tell if it's...
Right, okay, we got
But
more.
my lips, I think my lips a little bit. Why would they be going numb? From what?
Because the cloves. Remember,
Yeah.
clove oil used to be
Okay, I feel
used
that.
by dentists.
I do feel that. All right, so we're gonna have to leave this then.
Okay, now this I think is going to be a great improvement.
Okay, a little bit.
There we go.
At least I get to test it. Woohoo!
More?
It's a great improvement.
Is it? Okay.
But we need more. You need more.
Wow. It's got a bit of a kick, hasn't it?
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
what I
not
said.
it's not the chili. Right.
No, it's the clip.
Do you think even more honey?
Yeah, I'm really sorry.
Okay, more honey.
But, I mean, this is what mulled wine is, though. I mean, mulled wine.
It's a lot of sugar, isn't it?
There is just a lot of sugar. And actually, when you do look at mulled wine recipes, I can't talk about that because my lips.
The cloves are really taking effect now.
And I'm like, woo, but
it's going to your head, isn't it?
Yeah,
Can you
honestly.
admit it? I think it's all these fumes.
Honestly.
Do you know what? The first time
they're definitely numb.
that I was
Clarence,
ever
you sure you want this mulled wine?
intoxicated was serving mulled wine at a party of my parents. I was only about 13, but the fumes are coming out now, are pure alcohol, and they're going straight to your head.
What? And you got drunk from the fumes?
I did. In fact, I got legless. Is the truth. I'm a little bit ill.
Okay, you guys, it's actually now really good.
And we'll
so 3 times a charm.
We'll give it another. Let's give it another hour like that.
Yeah, let's give it another hour.
And then we'll decant it.
And then we'll give it to you.
Happy
and
Christmas.
I promise you, Stephen and Claire.
You'll love it.
It's actually really good.
Okay.
I can't
you can't speak.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that good.
Hi, Nicholas.
Hi, Julie.
I'm so excited. So, everybody, we are back in the drawing room. You have seen Doris in here before, who was repairing the Aubusson rug, which is now beneath us. And now we have Nicholas here, who is restoring.
Yeah.
So tell us all exactly what you do and what we're doing here today.
Well, basically my line of work is conservation and restoration of fine antiques from 1700 through to 1840. What we aim to do is the minimum restoration possible, maintain the furniture, feed the veneers, revive the leathers, remove watermarks and fix any loose veneers that are flaking or that are coming loose, basically.
Right.
It's a maintenance and a conservation program.
Yeah, of
really.
course.
Using natural materials and 18th century cabinet making skills through beeswax, carnauba waxes, and various polishes.
So you've trained in all of this, presumably.
Yes, I've grown up with it all my life.
Have you?
Yeah.
The drawing room is really our Regency furniture. This kind of houses the Regency furniture here.
It's beautiful.
What you're restoring, would you say restoring?
Yeah, it's more conservation than restoration. So you're maintaining, you're feeding the leathers, feeding the veneers, cleaning, burnishing,
Right.
And bringing all the beautiful colour back through the veneers. It works a bit like a prism, if you want. So, you know, as the light refracts off the furniture, the colour of the wood will come back through and really turn into a beautiful little gem of a piece of furniture.
Right.
That's, you know, probably made in 1800 or so. And as you can see here, the leather is really tired. It hasn't been looked after for many years, and there's some watermarks on the top here. So we're going to bring some colour.
It must be from a plant, I would think.
Yeah, I should think so. So,
Yeah.
I mean, this is a really simple process. It involves using beeswaxes with a slight dye to them.
Right.
And it'll bring, basically, feed the very dry leather, bring some of the colour back into the green antique leather, and then bring a beautiful sheen to the whole piece. I mean, that would be the first thing we're doing on it, and then I'd go lightly into cleaning the mounts and starting to treat all the veneers. But
Right, so it's really going to look night and day, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
What do we have in that drawer, Nicholas? Look at me, I'm always searching.
Oh,
look it.
Oh, wow.
Do you see? There's always things. That's why I'm like, can we
those are
open this
stunning.
up? Look at this, 1803.
1803. Wow, that's probably more or less
The period of the
piece of furniture.
Oh my goodness.
How amazing, look at that.
Look at that drawing.
So I'll be using a combination of this antique mahogany fine waxes and a beeswax and a carnauba wax, and it's a question of feeding the leather again, and it will darken it slightly, but it will bring through a lovely antique colour
Right.
to the piece. And then once it's shined up and burnished, you'll get a beautiful sheen, and potentially you put a coat of
Wonderful.
polish it up nicely.
I mean, because you obviously go and around from, I assume, one extraordinary furniture collection to the next.
Most of the time.
And get to see, and really get to see. But it's, but things aren't made the same way.
No, absolutely not. I mean, the workmanship involved in these classic pieces is enormous, and no one's got the inclination or the money to do it anymore.
Right, right.
And you'd be going into tens of thousands of pounds to make a reproduction piece.
To make a reproduction piece, of course, of course.
Absolutely.
So these are just, you know, so wonderful to be able to have these pieces, but also to watch this process right here. So this is something I'm just fascinated by, and watching it, in one sense, it's almost like it's coming back to life.
Absolutely, just feeding the leather, bring it back to life, filling all the dry areas, and you'll see that antique green will come back. And you can see the colour, the colours come back through here. Now as you polish it and buff the surface, the shine will come back to the leather, and the lovely antique green comes back through. And it's not being over-restored, which is the key. You know, you just got to be very conservative with the restoration.
Even you just doing that, or just across here, I can just see it's.
Yeah, you can see it lifts the colour of the ebony and the satinwood stringing here with probably, I'd say it's either rosewood or boxwood, rosewood with rosewood banding, and the whole piece will turn into a little jewel again. Really, the key is the conservation. Really.
Yeah.
And it'll just bring
Wonderful.
a little glint. You can see how the just
of course.
You can imagine that over the whole piece, and you've really got to.
You can really see the difference between sort of what you've just done here on the rosewood and the difference here where it hasn't been touched. So it looks, you know, dull here, and this gives it
Absolutely.
sort of that.
And you can see that's happening all the way around the edges.
Brilliant. Well, thank you, Nicholas. I am literally just so fascinated by seeing the work that goes into this, but also I think the craftsmanship that.
And the key is to keep the character to the piece as well. You know, it's not going to look brand new, and that you don't want.
No, you don't want that.
So all these little defects, you're still going to see them, but that's part of the history of the piece, and that's really important.
It has been around for quite some time, and you don't want to get rid of that. Thank you, Nicholas. Thanks, everybody. I hope you got as much out of this as I did.
For early access to these videos, behind-the-scenes content, and other benefits, please become a patron at patreon.com/Matt Live.
We are going to do Christmas cards. I'm going to pull out mine as well. Most of mine are going to America.
2 different Christmas cards here.
So exciting.
We've got the Mapperton Christmas card, which is something that we do every year. And we get it printed. And Julie, I don't think you've seen this, so have a look. and tell me what you think. There we go. There is our first,
Yes.
well, the first one we're going to fill out this year.
I think it's perfect. And this is obviously from snow from last year, or...
So with these Christmas cards, we tend to choose a picture of Mapperton, usually a frosty picture of Mapperton, because the truth is we don't get much snow here. My goodness.
See, that's why you have the fire guard on. I mean, honestly.
And then I usually take this image into Photoshop and I very subtly insert a Christmas decoration or a Christmas item. The question is, can anyone spot the bit of Photoshopping that I did on this one?
Okay.
Yeah,
I already spotted it.
Oh,
I mean, you didn't fool
she's
me.
She's not very impressed.
No.
I thought I did quite a good job.
Yeah, there's a Christmas tree with lights. I think it's brilliant.
there
I
we
think
go.
we should actually put
Mapperton,
that.
Merry Christmas and a very
So
happy New
who
Year.
are these cards going to?
Well, we send Christmas cards obviously to friends.
Yep.
Yeah, so you know that. We send Christmas cards to the Mapperton community, to people who live at Mapperton. But this year,
You just got some hair in
I
your
got some
face.
hair. There we go. How's that? Looking better. This year, we are also sending Christmas cards, of course, to our patrons.
Yes.
And we
To
are-
Mapperton Live, to Mapperton patrons.
Mapperton patrons. So we are very grateful to our patrons who help support this small but important part of England's heritage. And one of the benefits that they get is a Christmas card from both of us.
Yes,
So we
exactly.
should be sending them off.
And then
these
what
are
I'm
going.
doing over here, and I will sign those as well, is we have, because I thought I might as well multitask. So American Viscountess is our other YouTube channel and other Patreon site. And this is where I go around with Stephen and Claire and Victoria, our series producer, and we film at historic houses across the country. So we've already done Pentilly Castle. We have filmed at Iford Manor and Gardens, and we filmed at Dean's Court. And I won't say yet, but we have already confirmed 4 more houses. We'll be doing 6 next year. In fact, yeah, 3 out of
Well,
the...
you've got at
Don't say.
least 2 castles, I think.
Yeah, we have 2 castles.
2 castles, possibly more.
This is the Christmas card for American Viscountess.
Julie's Christmas
here.
card is bigger than
I
my
know.
Christmas card. How did
It
that
is.
happen?
I don't know.
Is it glossier as well?
So, and do you put in 2021 at the top?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
2021. I tell you, I've done something quite cool on this one as well,
What have you
which
done?
might even work if people are sitting in front of their computers and they've got their phone. On this one, we have a barcode, a QR code on the back. And really cleverly, if you take out your phone and look at that QR code, it takes you to mapperton.com. Oh. I think that's so smart. It just
Do you think
shows
anybody is really
we
going to do
are-
that?
We are keeping up with the times.
Do you think
Yes.
anybody's really going to do that?
Next year, I think I'm going to have the QR code on the front and a little
Do
photo
you think
on the back.
anybody's going to do
Because
that?
it'll be all about the digital experience.
Do you think
I think so.
anybody's going to do that?
I suspect lots of people will have got their phone out, gone close to their screen, and they're now on the Mapperton website, signing up for our newsletter.
Think anybody's going to do that?
I think they're all going to be doing it.
don't
Ye
think
of
so.
little faith.
No, I'm just saying. By the way, I have to kind of fold this.
Do you know what? I've just looked at our list, 172 Christmas cards to write. So on that basis, we better get going.
Yeah, I've got to sign those as well, don't I? Yep.
Yep.